Wow. So, yeah, they got driven out from the castle, the ninja, the tiefling ninja, and the minotaur, and were on the run. And it wasn't really that nice of a time for them. And eventually, they saw a drow tribe or clan, or however you describe it, their group number, but a group of them swarm a elven settlement and take them as like slaves and prisoners. And they decided not to get involved as a tiefling ninja and minotaur. And the drow, which are dark elves, spotted the minotaur and tiefling anyways because they stood out so much, and then they ended up capturing them and enslaving them. And then they basically both almost died as drow slaves in the Underdark. At some point, they I don't know if I mentioned their dragon shaman, Keska Gothog. Their dragon shaman was also captured, but since he was friends with, or he was the shaman for a black dragon in the Underdark underneath the castle that they were previously recently owners of, or at least in their minds. And the their dragon shaman ends up breaking them out, and then they're on the run from the drow in the Underdark. And the Underdark is like the most dangerous and hostile place, and their dragon shaman friend who helped them escape dies, and the Underdark gets eaten by a giant worm, and the Minotaur falls into a pool of acid at one point, and basically it looks like Two-Face only as a Minotaur, and by the time they get out of the Underdark, the Minotaur becomes an Ivgrim. Oh, wait, no. They discover once they do get out of the Underdark, and that takes like an entire day of playing, or night, and once they do get out of the Underdark, they're in the desert, and they meet up with they try and send a tiefling in to town to get supplies with what loot they've gotten from their adventuring, and he finds a store with a giant battle axe, and there's a giant battle axe that's a signpost, and he hires a storekeep there who's a smith to build a giant suit of armor for the Minotaur, and the storekeep makes the suit of armor, but then flees town because he knows that for the requirements for the armor, anything that can wear that he doesn't want to meet. So the Minotaur comes into town, gets the suit of armor, puts it on, and takes the giant axe that the storekeep is using as a sign, and the Minotaur was pretty unstoppable for a while after that, and he met an orc tribe came in and raided that town, and he met the orc chief who was named Magnar the Destroyer, and they fought each other, and he killed Magnar and became the new Ivgrimish for the orc tribe, and all orcs had to follow his Minotaur whenever they, anytime an orc would come up, it would instantly just become part of his tribe, since he had his own orc tribe. And he took back the castle, and then the Tiefling Ninja went to learn shadow dancing training from demon ninjas on the spine of the world of Faerun, and he traveled to the highest mountain reach of Faerun, and found a demon tower, and got special shadow dancing ninja training from demons through hazardous tasks like dodging lightning bolts and killing swarms of insects with his bare hands in a confined space. He's a whole bunch of trap dodging. And then after he got his training, he was basically kicked out of the demon dojo in the wintry landscape, and as he was leaving, he fought a small cat-sized white dragon that killed him. Just bad luck, I suppose. And then the demon or tiefling ninja then went to the abyss, when he died, where he was tortured into a lich, and then after being tortured into a lich, he met up with a shadow mage that was a shade, and a drow and all these things, and the two of them traveled on a river of green lightning to a demon monk's tower that was just in a plain of green lightning that they had both that they traveled on a river of green lightning to the demon tower, where there was like a mirror and a magical tree and an amulet, and had to use all these different things to try and navigate these hallways, and went to the top of the tower and fought the demon monk, and the demon monk they threw him out the window trying to get his spellbook, but he astral stepped, or no, abundant stepped is the right term. He abundant stepped right back into the room and killed both of them, destroying their characters' souls in the abyss completely. And basically just grabbing both of their characters' souls and just holding them in the green lightning, just torturing them for the rest of the time. So that was how evil those characters were. And not all characters went that way. Once the Minotaur got back to the rest of the group, and the group made new characters, the Minotaur already had a orc city, a castle, and there was already several levels as a monstrous character. Barbarian, Ivgrimish, huge rage cleave, and the game was simple enough, and then just role playing from there and collecting more magic items. So, and the new players made monks, human monks, a bard, a satyr, a centaur, ranger, and a changeling rogue, and a changeling rogue would later change his race to a cat, so that he'd have better agility. And we had a gnome wizard for one session, and a human war mage, probably 2 human warlocks, an armadillo monk, a tiefling duskblade. Yeah, the tiefling duskblade was a big one. And they went through a bunch of different cities of different magic fantasy races, werewolf scenarios. And eventually it all started to escalate towards a demon tower that was taken directly out of the Devil May Cry series, where one of the largest towns in Faerun, Waterdeep, just summoned the Tower of Zerubbabel, and just made a demon tower that was going to turn the material plane into another layer of the abyss. And they had to stop it, and this was being done by like a dozen Mystic Theurges, which I just made up every cross class between Divine and Arcane, Magic for NPC boss battles, and then just used all the demons in the monster manual. I had to fight everyone. They also had to fight the Dark Elf Spider God. That's a funny sentence, Dark Elf Spider God. That was probably the most fun that it got to, and it should have just stopped there. In fact, it never should have gotten there.